Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you the basics of the page editor in WordPress. There are a lot of features and settings to cover, so I'm actually going to split this up into two different parts. The first part will be an overview of the page editor settings, while part two will dive deeper into adding content to your page and working with blocks. So let's begin with part one. After logging in, we're going to navigate to the Pages link in the sidebar and click Add New. Now that we're brought to a brand new page, we can simply add our page title here. And since we'll be covering content in our next video, I'm just going to paste in some placeholder paragraphs for now. Now that we have our content on the page, we can take a look at our header toolbar settings. This first button right here brings up your block inserter, and this will have your blocks, patterns, and media library. Next to that, we have our tools, and this will bring up your edit view or select view. By default, and most of the time, you'll be in your edit view. What this means is that you'll have different tools available to you when you're working on different blocks. If you select the select view, this hides those tools and just allows you to basically move the blocks around. So I'm just going to move back to my edit view. Next to that, we have some undo and redo buttons that allow you to undo and redo changes. And then lastly, on the left, we have our document overview button. This is also known as the list view, so you can see that that's right there. This is a great way to see all of the different blocks on your page, especially if you have a really long page with multiple blocks. This is a great overview. And if you actually hover over the blocks on the left, you can actually see that they'll be highlighted on the right. And if you click on a block on the left, it'll bring up the block on the right. So they work hand in hand together. It's really easy to work with. You can actually manipulate the blocks from the left as well by either clicking and dragging to move them around, or you can even delete a block. So I definitely recommend, if you're working on content entry, to utilize this view. Next to the list view, we also have our outline settings. So this just shows you information about the content on your page, such as character count and word count and time to read. Moving to the right of the header toolbar, we now have our save draft, preview, and publish links. So I typically recommend previewing the content on your page before ever publishing it live, just to make sure everything looks as it should. So you can click preview, and I recommend using this preview in new tab option because that will actually show you what your page will look like. Beside these links, we have our settings button. This toggles the sidebar on the right that contains your page and block settings. For this video, we're only going to go over the page settings. Each section within the sidebar is called a panel, and you can toggle panels open and close by clicking this header, like so. In the summary panel, you can change things like the visibility of your page, change your publish date to a future date. You can change the URL, the author of your page, or you can move it to trash. In the featured image area, you can set a featured image for your page. So this is typically used for things like page heroes or for other blocks that might reference your page. This is really dependent on the theme itself, but I will show you how to set a featured image. All you have to do is just click Set Featured Image. You can either upload a brand new image, or you can select one from your existing media library. So for example, I'm going to just click an existing image, and now I have my featured image set. Next, we have discussion settings. You can allow comments for your page. Then for page attributes, you can make your current page a child of another page by selecting a parent page. And then lastly, we have our page details. So this is, again, really dependent on your theme, but we typically include page details for settings that are outside of the WordPress default settings, either custom settings that we've added ourselves. That concludes part one of Page Editor Basics. Be sure to watch part two next.